Welcome to the Scoop with Dukes. I'm your host, Philip Dukes, aka Dukes D Scoop. Check me out on Twitter and Instagram at Dukes D Scoop. And this episode is brought to you by TwistedCaps.com. Make sure you go to TwistedCaps.com. You see, this is not your regular Atlanta Braves hat. You see the flames coming out. You see the details. You see the suede. Too hard. All right, man. Really excited today, man. I got my man Boog on the show. Boog Night. Boog, what's happening, Rock?
What's up, dog? Same old cooking and shaking and moving, baby. That's
Man,
all.
listen, you probably have to be the busiest man in sports right now. We talking about two top five picks, NFL, NBA, under your guidance in some sort of fashion. One of the
hmm
probably hottest agencies in the world right now with Young Money Sports. Before we get started, tell us about who you are. Walk us through your journey and how you got to where you are today. The shortest version you can give us.
Man, just an inspiring mentor, man, who helped a lot of kids and a lot of families throughout the years, brother. And then from there, just God aligned my steps. Going from nothing to a whole lot of everything. Just 1 minute my life was one way, the next thing I look up. 10 years later, here I am. So helped a lot of people along the way, man. Just trying to put everybody best interest, so I could make sure I could contribute to pouring into the youth, and that's just kind of how that opened doors for other things in my life. And man, like here I am, bro. Just blessed to be here, man.
So you work with football, you work with basketball as well. What was your first love?
Basketball for sure.
Okay,
Basketball, my
basketball.
first love. So yeah,
So talk about your basketball journey because I know you played. You did play. You went played at a pretty high level. Like just talk about your basketball journey and then how that was.
man. I played basketball since I was 4 years old. All the way up until I was a pro. Played professionally overseas in Europe. Until my career came to an end. Got pins in both of my Achilles, man. So my body
Mm,
don't even function the same anymore. But it was a worthy journey, and I don't regret none of it, man. Going from like I say, Little League, been finding ways to win all my life, been a leader all my life, been a point guard all my life. So I
mm,
still, even though I don't play ball anymore, I'm still a point guard in my phase of life that I'm in now. Distributing, make sure I'm putting everybody in position to score. That's
right.
my thing. I need to put you in position to score. So whether it's on the court, off the court, I'm just setting people up, what I'm saying, to make it easy on them. So yeah, then won every level, all state kid out of Louisiana, small town
Mm,
Louisiana, all state, went to college, and like I say, played over in Europe and went from there, transitioned into coaching.
okay.
That's yeah.
So right now, your journey with Young Money. What's your role with Young Money? Like, because we see you as the face. Like, we see you in a lot of places. We see you behind some of the brightest stars in the game right now. What is your role?
Head operations over at Young Money APA Sports. Been there from day one. One of the original builders. Built it from ground zero. It went from an idea to everything we see now. I was one of the original founders on the floor of that, putting that together. Everything on the day to day when it comes to recruiting, just mapping out, having a brain to steer things and build brands and put guys in certain lights to make sure that they're able to shine and capitalize on their moments. I'm the guy that kind of spearheads that. I'm the visionary behind the brand and seeing things that lie ahead. Like I always tell people, bro, everybody got sight, but not everybody. Don't everybody don't have vision.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, most people got sight. The one, if you're not blind, you got sight. You can see what's in front of you, but to be able to see 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line, that's
Mm-hmm.
been my thing since forever, man. That's how we here 9 years later. This where we at now. Like I knew this was coming a long time ago.
Right. So speaking of Young Money, we associate that with Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne is one of the greatest artists of all time. Uh,
hmm
and depending on who you ask, he may be the greatest rapper of all time. What
hmm
has he provided as far as his career, who he is as a person, to Young Money? Because that's who we think about when we hear Young Money, Young Moolah, baby. So what is, and we know he's an avid sports fan. What is Wayne added to the brand?
Man, Tunchi as we call him,
Right.
man, bro, he set the tone from day one. Like
Mm-hmm.
when you've had that level of greatness for so long, like a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people get hot, get cold, get hot, get cold. Like Tune has had a run that's out of this world. Like off of just music. I always tell people like he my goat because he's made it all this time off of just music, not acting, not branching off into other avenues of doing this and that. Like he's been relevant for 30 years off music. That's
Mm-hmm.
unheard of. And for that, from day one when we started the sports agency, knowing how well he, how much he's a sports fan and how much he wanted to change the young fellas' lives because he become friends with a lot of these athletes and he was seeing how they were living and how they were. losing money instead of, gaining money. He just wanted to get involved. So from day one, we got involved. Seeing him in the studio and watching him work set the tone because it was kind of like an unspoken language of, hey, if you want to be a part of this, this is how you got to work. And if you can't work
Mm,
like this, you can't sustain what I'm trying to build. You can't even fathom in his mind what he's trying to do. If he did it on the music side, he definitely want to do it on the sports side. Because guys like Wayne don't believe in just being average and stuff. They don't want to just do something just to do it. They don't work like that. They brain function at a whole different level
mm-hmm,
than most people can understand. So for him, man, going into the studio one night and then like not leaving the studio till like noon the next day, noon,
mm,
like and watching everybody fall asleep, just him and his engineer, the only ones up the whole time, and he just steady working. I'm like, bro, this time he was like 22, 23 years into his career, still working like this. And at that point,
crazy.
it's kind of like, okay, if I'm gonna be the head of this, I gotta mirror that. And that's just, right there. And I
Right,
said, and he didn't open doors for everybody, bro. Tune and put everybody on.
right.
Everybody around him has had opportunity to grow and go make money and take care of their family and set up their, legacies and, generation of wealth, all because of the work he's put in. We all on his back.
Right.
He's opened doors for everybody, from the Drakes, the Nickies, what I'm saying, the Tigers, the McMahons, the Tedds, everybody. You want to like he's paved the way for all of us in some form of fashion.
Man, I love to hear that. And speaking of incredible work ethic, the number 2 overall pick in this year's NFL draft,
I
Travis
doubt.
Hunter. Travis Hunter, man. When you talk about somebody who worked harder than anybody else in college football, it's documented because nobody played more snaps than him in college football.
Facts,
What's
not
it
even close.
like? What was it like being an agency? Nobody saw Travis Hunter going to Young Money. What was it like when he signed that SRA with you guys and you said, you know what, we got the best player in college football? What was that like?
Man, actually, I'm gonna be honest with you. The night he signed, it was kind of I didn't know it was about to happen for real. Like Travis, my dog. Like beyond this business stuff, like that's family, man. I've been, rocking side by side, shoulder to shoulder with this kid since he was coming out of high school before he
Right,
got to Jackson State.
right.
So for that, it's just always been a love thing. Like man, I'm looking out for y'all on the love. Like I'm a bend over backwards and make sure that everything is in place for you because a lot of people this thing. People underrate the fact that having counsel around these type of guys to help them get to where they're trying to go is underrated because I've seen so
Mm,
many people drop the ball and fumble these type of processes with these type of kids. Like we made all the right steps with him.
right.
Like so for him and seeing that, like you still know like man, it's family, but you still don't know like when it's time to sign papers, bro. That could be a little different. Sometimes it could be a little awkward, if I'm being honest, because you're so close to him. Like I don't even want you to look at it like that, but you know what I'm saying? But who else better than to rock with you than somebody who's been rocking with you, dog, at the end of the day. So the night it happened, it was kind of like, we talked about it, and then, and he was like, I'm ready to get it done after the Alamo Bowl. And he
Wow.
like, let's go and do it. I'm ready to go, go
That's
and rock out.
crazy.
Like, man, y'all done a lot for me.
Yeah, yeah,
And he was solid. Like
yeah. So,
that,
okay. Before Jackson State, let's talk about
mm,
this.
mm,
The whole world, this was the biggest news. I mean, I remember where I was when it popped up on my phone that Travis Hunter was going to, and then he was actually going to Jackson State.
mm.
What was that like when Travis made the decision to decommit from Florida State and go to Jackson State?
It was first of all, it was nerve wracking. It was like you really didn't believe it was about to happen. Kind of
Mhm.
like even when we knew he was gonna do it before he even made it announcement, like I'm coming and we knowing we gotta hold this secret for a matter of some weeks and like okay, this can't get out. This can't get out. If it get
Right,
out, you're gonna ruin it. So only a few people knew about it.
right.
And be honest with you, Coach Prime didn't even know when he actually said he was gonna do it. Prime didn't even know, like nobody even told him
Oh
at
wow.
the time. Like
Right.
Prime had to worked it, he had to pour into it and did everything. But when the kid actually like, I'm gonna do this, nobody told coach because we didn't want to get excited. We didn't want, and we didn't want to just and also you also don't want to tell him something then it backfired, no happen. Then he look at you crazy like y'all said it was
Right,
going
right, right,
so
right.
so we all knew and then leading up to it, I remember telling probably like, hey man, we gonna tell you, man, he coming. And probably said, man, like didn't believe it. And then this way it got tricky at Dukes.
Yeah.
So we probably like, man, on the morning of, I'm in Atlanta. I'm standing around going to the school, everything. I'm out there just doing my thing. And I'm Prime calling somebody, I ain't gonna say a certain name. He like, man, he gonna stand us up at the altar. I feel he gonna stand us up at the altar. We gonna get to the altar to get married, and he gonna stand us up at the altar. He ain't gonna say I do. We like, man, chill, bro. Like we good, we good.
Right.
So he go through it that day. He signs his SRA and everything. I mean, not SRA. I'm talking about that. He signs his NLI, and then when they fax it over to the school at Jackson State, it just so happened that the fax didn't go through. It just happened to be us at the fax did not go through.
Oh.
And Prime like, man, ain't no fax came through. Like, bro, we sent it. We sent it. I know we sent it. Like right before you get ready to announce it and everything. We're
Hey,
like, bro, I promise you, we sent it.
Prime straight out of Fort Myers now, so he's thinking like, hey man, y'all playing with me.
Y'all playing games.
Yeah.
Y'all playing games. So whatever happened was that the fax machine was unplugged or something.
Okay.
So when they plugged it up, fax came through. And
Yeah.
then he went on that TV. So like that was the whole thing. Like that was a whole nerve wracking thing because like you really don't think this real. Some things happen so big in life that you like, bro, this really just can't be happening.
Right.
Like why us? Like really, we
Right.
about to pull it. We about to pull this off.
Right.
Like come on. Sometimes man, things are that huge, and you be like, bro, nah, bro, we ain't just do this
Man, no,
until
it
it's done.
never happened. We're talking about the number one player in the country going to a HBCU.
Hmm.
Never happened.
Yes.
There's nothing that got us ready or prepared us. Like back then, listen, I'm not even working in sports for real. You know, I'm at work. You dig? I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, nah, this man ain't going. Ain't no way, bro. No, I'm boy, no, but you see, like it made shockwaves everywhere. It wasn't just Atlanta. It was like news, man. Like that was a
Yes.
huge moment, not just for Coach Prime, but for Jackson State, for HBCUs, for the culture. That was
For
huge because
sports. Yeah.
yeah, it really told us that man, people in relationships still matter, and they wanted the spirit with the money. That's all they wanted to do.
Yeah.
Money,
Yeah.
money, money. Oh, bro, Jackson. No
We ain't had
disrespect.
no money.
Yeah, no disrespect, but Jackson State, like it ain't like and I'm not saying it in no a disrespectful way, but if you think that Jackson State around they paid more money or whatever it is or promised more, any of that, no man, that man really recruited, and that's a heck of a job. And I want to ask you about this. You're right there. You see, you got a relationship with Coach Prime. You got a relationship with Travis. Talk about their relationship and how special it is from somebody on the outside looking in that knows both parties.
Man, life changing. That's
Yeah.
all I can say. In it, life changing. Coach Prime, bro. Everybody like even the Sanders family as a whole, man. Everybody just don't get close to that. Like that's not something that everybody just welcome to just walk in and just be that. So for me, from day one, Coach Prime had a high school in Dallas, and when I first met him, it's always been love, And even from a distance, like I never overstepped in the boundaries. I played the back and just did what I had to do to contribute to whatever it is that needed to make the machine go. I
Mhm.
never jumped out in the front of anything. It just always, I just kind of always knew where to play my lane and kind of know when to take my shots. And I think even Prime even appreciates that because he know, like, man, at the end of the day, I got everybody's best interest at heart.
Right.
And for him, he's changed my life because he allowed me to be a part of it. Because even when, like I say, I don't have to directly pick up the phone to say this, that, and other. I know what he want me to do and don't do. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Mhm.
and if I ever get to the point where I'm getting a little too far for what I should be doing, I get a text or a call from Big 21. Hey, nah, 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 hold on, don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Right.
you give me a whole snap. He in tune with everything, but for the most part, bro, that helped change my life because it, like I said, it put me in a position where I fell into unorthodox situation that ended up being a blessing. Like in between the situation where Coach Prime over here being, my goat in football, then Wayne over here being my goat in music and rap, and then for the part that we were able to bridge them because they already had a pre-existing relationship too. So
Mm.
and then I'm like the guy that's kind of caught standing in the middle of two goats,
Yeah.
and then it helped me in so many ways. Like it helped me evolve in life. Like I'm telling you, to be able to be a part of that with either one of them, man, it do something different for your life. Like not
Yeah.
outside of football, outside of in certain rooms I can go into because of them, not
Yeah.
because of Boog, because they know Boog know them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I'm just being honest. This ain't about me. I know why I'm getting in some of these rooms or why I'm getting at some of these tables or why I'm able to discuss certain things because, and they don't have to be there. But the fact that they know that I know them, I can walk in that door with my chest out of my head held high. You know what I'm saying? And understand that they know what I'm representing when I get there.
Amen. No, that's huge. And I think a lot of people where you were so instrumental in Travis's success from not only a career perspective, but from a friend, from an ear, from somebody, a big brother, a mentor. What was it like walking Travis through some of those, all of the Twitter stuff that was going on, and about his now wife, and
Hmm.
the Twitter backlash that he was getting from some bad timing on some, and people stick,
Yeah.
and honestly, sometimes people just overstepping their boundaries. What
Hmm.
did you have to do to keep him focused in that time?
I didn't have to do anything to keep Trav focused. Trav was already locked in. Like he one of them kids too. Like he believes in who he is and he knows what he ain't and what he is. So for him, certain things don't even bother him. Now when it started to bother him a little bit, you can see. But for that part, it was easier for me because I know the woman that they were talking about and all the stuff that was going on. Like that's my dog. Like I say, when Trav go on the game, he know one thing. He ain't got to worry about it. I'm gonna make sure she there. I'm gonna make sure she need to be seated where she need to be seated. If something ain't going right, like he know I'm going to figure it out and fix it. Like he know at the end of the day, he could relax because he know I got it.
Right.
So it was the same thing when it comes to stuff like this. The same thing. Like he chill. He know the people around him got it. And
Mm.
and he never wavered. It never, got to a point to where you felt like he was losing the grip on life or anything. Like he just stayed the course. Now he just understand. He just knew that now he's crossing over to a different level of life. Now some things you do have to, kind of close the curtains on.
Yeah.
But you know, and he learned that that part of the next phase of life. But other than that, man, he was already locked in. For me, it was just continue to do what I've been doing, be there, be accessible. You know what I mean? And if it's something that we need to speak on, we speak on it. And some things we just never even spoke on because I knew that he had it under control. And sometimes you just don't want to just beat a dead horse. You don't want to just beat on stuff that what I'm
Right.
saying, because sometimes you got to know when to pick your shots. And
Yeah.
I think too, he appreciate that with me too as well, because I'm not always beating like, bro, look, all right, we know what's going on, but
Right.
we don't. Let's talk about life. Let's talk about family. Let's talk about what we gonna do when we get our name called. Let's talk about this Heisman that's coming up. Let's talk about all these other great things that you've done and that you're doing. That things that matter, because the stuff that's really going on, I would say, is going on in a fake world, which I call the internet, is a world where everybody has a voice. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, a lot of people who have a voice, they have a voice because they can't get out here in the real field and do what you do.
Mm.
So instead of them doing what you do, they're speaking on what you do because
Mm-hmm.
they can't do what you do. So at the end of the day, let's focus on that. And that's what made you great. That's what got you to this point. And then new levels bring new devils.
Yeah.
So, so understand that too. The people you thought love you, so they'll turn on you to drop the dime, and you ain't done nothing to nobody. At the end of
Yeah.
the day, there was a kid ain't did nothing. He did nothing to no one. And I
Nope.
watched people turn on him. You know what I'm saying? Because he's making a decision that he felt was best for his life.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, like, yeah, I
No,
mean, I can't.
we always had this saying too. You always seek wise counsel, right? And I think the
Hmm.
fact that he has a circle and he has some people that he can depend on is really important for guys who have that type of cachet about themselves, and that the whole world, he's in a fishbowl. We're
Hmm.
talking about nobody's ever done what he's done. And
Right.
speaking of, like, let's go to the Heisman chase. And was there a moment where Travis and yourself and the team said, you know what, we got it. Like, we they would have to take this away from us for him not to win it. Was there a moment during the season where, like, what was the Heisman moment for the team?
When we knew the writing was kind of on the wall that this was getting really real was after when he had the misunderstanding with Richard Sherman, when it was some misconstrued words put out there, about the what do you say, the Blake, what you kind
Yeah,
um whatever the word
yeah,
he
yeah,
used,
yeah, yeah. Bland,
bland.
bland, bland, bland. Yep,
Yeah,
bland.
it was
Yep.
it was misconstrued, and then Trav came out at UCF in Orlando. Rain is pouring out rain. The game delayed. With the bland shirt on, and then that game he went out there, and after he grabbed that interception, and then brought it down to the other end and hit the Heisman pose on the right then and there, was kind of like, there we go. Like
Yeah,
he always answered the call. Like you just had all the stir up all week about this, all week the internet going crazy about what was said, and he went out there and made plays just like, I do this for real. And it was crazy because even before then, the day before that game, we had a meeting in the hotel room about a Heisman campaign. And
mm.
the day before that game, the night before that game, actually. And he went out there the next day and did that. Was kind of, yep. And we went
Man.
on a buy that following week. So it was like, yeah, we there. Like
Yeah, no, for
at this
sure.
at this point, he just got to keep showing up. At this point,
Did he ever express any type of doubt about being able to play both ways in college, or did he always say, from back then coming out of Collins Hill, did he know he was like, I'm going to be able to do this? Like, was there any part of the journey where he may have doubted himself? And if so, what did you tell him?
And Prime had already had a plan for him when he stepped foot on Jackson State campus, and that's why people don't understand why he chose to go with Coach Prime is because Coach Prime had a plan for this. Like this wasn't nothing that we was gonna come in and just try to figure it out. He had a plan to how he was gonna insert it on one side and how he was gonna insert him on the other side, and then how he was gonna let him grow through it. But what didn't happen? Now this what did happen. Trav had a setback
Mm-hmm.
because he had an ankle that he had surgery on his ankle in high school, and when he got to college, ended up getting having some some after effects or whatever, an infection, and then he ended up like almost didn't play the first game of the season against FAMU because of it. But Trav being Trav in the hotel room crying the night before, him and Liana in that playing doctor, and he crying, and then the next day he on the field. Like he really
Wow.
was like 50%, 40%. Like it was bad. Like couldn't put pressure on it the night before the game, literally.
Right. Right.
And so when that happened, Coach Prime told he gonna trust him. He not gonna play him a lot, so he didn't play it both ways a lot because of
Mm.
that. And then even when he started, then he had to sit out after that and start, get himself together. When he reinserted himself back into, practice in the game, Coach Prime didn't want to max him out just yet. So he still was taking baby steps. He wasn't fully playing both sides of the ball yet.
Right.
And then as the season went on, and like it got to the point where when he started getting more healthy, he was demanding that look, I need to be on the field. Like it was the point Chad would check himself in the game on offense. On offense, be
Right.
like, nah, hold on, now this, nah, I'm going back out there because like it ain't looking right.
Right.
His big game. He had the big catch against Alcorn State at Alcorn on the sideline with the toe. We had like one piece
Yeah.
of a toe in. That made the ESPN top 10 play with Shador put the thing right on the money, like plays like that. Like he wasn't playing both ways full time. He was playing defense full time.
Right.
Offense, he was playing spot reps. But then we got to the Celebration Bowl, and then same thing. He started inserting himself more. And then that next year going into Colorado, people were coming trying to pull him, trying to make sure he didn't transfer to Colorado with us, and this, that, and the other. And I think that's when the count was understood. Like, look, I ain't holding you back now. You're healthy now. It's gonna be a full go. I'm gonna give you whatever you can handle. And from there, the rest is history. And you can see he went into the camp, he went into practice, and it was just kind of like, oh, kid, don't ever get tired. And then you put him on one side of the ball, you like, dang, he my best receiver. Then you put him on defense, like, oh, dang, he my best cornerback.
Yeah.
And then at that point, can he sustain? Then he showed you that he can sustain.
Man, so what's it been like in Jacksonville so far? If you had to like just kind of put a synopsis on his experience in Jacksonville, going both ways in the NFL, what's that been like so far?
It's one of the things where I talked to somebody in that building. They said, man, I've been here. I've seen 3 draft classes come through here. Say Trav is by far the best one I've seen come in this building as a rookie. Like for every rookie that's came in before, they always told the rookies how they wanted to do things. Trav is coming in and telling us how things should be done. So like
Mm.
because again, it's something different for them. So he's having to have a lot of input on. Nah, don't do this, do this, and then they have a plan where they insert him on the offensive side first, so he can learn the offensive playbook, and then later they insert him on the defensive side. So those things started to come. They got a plan in place. So things in Jacksonville are going great, man. Got a young general manager, young head coach. They ready to evolve the game. So they not with all the I don't think he could do it. They with the show me you could do it until you show me you can't do it. And if you never show me you
Mm.
can't do it, we gonna let you do it.
Right.
So a lot of that too was about him landing in the right spot. And he landed in the right spot.
Man, that's that just to see his face when he knew, you could just tell that there was some elation, some there was a sense of relief knowing that he was gonna be close to the crib too, right?
3.5 hours.
Hey,
Three, yeah.
hey, it's close. It was closer than Cleveland.
Way close.
Oh,
Man, ain't nothing close to Cleveland, man.
hey man. Speaking of Cleveland, man, Cleveland. The Browns, man. So, all right. So before we get started with Cleveland, what's your role with Shador Sanders?
Same thing, family
Family.
relationship. Uh, One of the things where I've been around that kid since he was in like 5th grade,
Right.
and been like I said, with his pop. So at the end of the day, that's more of a man. I'm always just look out for you regardless.
Right.
I got you, and he another one, like so don't just allow no anybody around him, man. He understands his position, he understands his power, he understands his brand, and like I say, he's sharper than most kids his age. I ain't gonna say kids, he's sharper than most young men his age. So for him, he know everybody around him got to have a purpose. You know what I'm saying? You got to bring something to that table that makes that machine go. And
Mm-hmm.
for me, it's just knowing that whenever he has transitions or he has certain things like that, because Daddy got all of Colorado to worry about. Big brother Bucky got well off to worry about. Shiloh's doing his thing. So sometimes it falls on, well, who has the time and the resources to be able to be here with him. And then for me, that's me. Like,
Mm.
I kind of carve it out to say, look, yeah, I ain't gonna let you go through this by yourself. I see what you just went through. I see what the world just tried to do to you, the system and everything you went up against. So you look, I'm gonna be here with you. So for me, it's a family thing, and it's not a situation where he paid me to do this or paid me to do that, man. You see Boog there because he want to be there and he choose to be
Mm.
there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That ain't no check involved.
No, for sure.
So and that's the type of that I think even guys like him appreciate stuff like that too, because when they in those situations, a lot of people come around trying to figure out how much they could take from the guys. And this same like I say, when him and Trav both, they both know, like, whatever I do for them, I do it, man. I come out my own pocket. I don't even ask for that back. That's
Right.
just I got you.
Yeah,
You know
it
what
is
I'm
what
saying?
it is. So, speaking of what he went through with the NFL, what was it like watching it and having the call? Of course, you were with Travis and you weren't able to be in that moment, but at the same time, you had to feel it, right? What was it like having the high of Travis's success that night and watching what they did? And I'm gonna say what they did to Shador. That was crazy. But what was it like being on those two extremes for you?
Man, Dukes, I'm gonna tell you like this. On that night, I remember vividly. I went from because we came out the board so early, like, man, we wasn't in the green room long, bro. Like, it was like we here and we out. We
Right,
taking pictures. We head back to the team hotel to go watch the rest of the draft. I'm like, oh, should do up next. Let me make sure I'm in position.
right,
And then as it started to unfold, I went from that to like in tears. Like,
man.
I'm looking at the TV in tears, bro. Like, I can't believe they doing them like this. Like,
Right.
I'm watching, I'm feeling every bit of it. Every call that goes, like, and I remember somebody handed me a napkin. I'm just like, bro, this ain't right. This ain't right. This is like this is not supposed to be. Like, you know what I'm saying? They took a something that this kid worked for his whole life for,
Right.
and whatever it was, they made it about them, and they tried to ruin something that he earned and take
Right.
something from him that he earned. But Shador being Shador, you know what I'm saying? No emotions from a king. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
he head high, and because because this what happened after we went through that night, I didn't sleep at all. The Jaguars flew us to Jacksonville the very next morning on a private plane. We land, we go through all the stuff with Trav, all the pre stuff, boom, boom. As soon as we done, bam, I booked the PJ to Dallas because we try to get back to Shador now, and wasn't no flight gonna get back, so we had to get a private jet. We had to get a private jet just to get back in time to get us close to, because they live out in the country. They don't live in Dallas, so we had to get close as possible to Prime House, and then bam, land. We get there. I'm walking in. When I walk in, everybody say, "Get quiet, get quiet, get quiet." So I'm thinking I'm walking in right on the pick. Everybody getting quiet. She's doing on the phone. I'm like, man, I walked in right on time, like right on time. And then it was the prank call from the supposed to be New Orleans Saints.
Man.
That's what I walked in on. I walked in on saying
Man.
everybody saying, "Get quiet, get quiet." I'm like, "Whoo, man, I made it. Man, I made it." That's what I'm thinking. Like, oh, I made it. And when that happened, it crushed me all over again.
Man. You know what's
Yeah.
crazy? I don't know what was going on with them prank calls this year, but man, I'm at Smile Monday party, right?
Hmm.
Dallas Cowboys, quote unquote, call. Everybody quiet, everybody ready for him to go, and we found out it was a prank, dog. Like that's the lamest thing in the
Ooh.
world to see or to feel for somebody else. But he got through it, Shador got through it. And so when did you see that light bulb go off for Shador? And when I say the light bulb, like the where it went from y'all did me wrong to somebody got to pay.
Okay, so after the prank call, he immediately said he didn't wait, and we all pissed. He just told DJ, cut the music back on, and he grabbed the football and he started throwing with Daryl, like literally right away. He just started throwing, playing catch. Didn't show, what I'm saying, nothing. The night went on, undrafted again. Day two, we going to day three. I'm out now. At this point, I'm out here setting up stuff because we got an event already that's scheduled that we can't pull back on. Money already spent.
Right.
So it's like he got to get drafted today. And then after he gets drafted, he's ecstatic about it. So like I said, because for him, it wasn't about the money. He wanted the opportunity to play in the NFL.
Right.
He's made a ton of money since January going to the draft due to the brand he's built.
Right.
So for him, it clicked immediately that after day three, the next day he said, "I'm ready to get to Cleveland like right now, today." I'm like, already, cause I had a trip planned. My coming into the draft, I said, oh, Travis is going off the board, Shador going off the board, my other guys going off the board, Brashard, all these guys. I just get as soon as day 3 with, I'm on my way to Cabo, and then I'm gonna come back a week, and then I'm gonna go to Miami for the next week. I had a 2 week vacation planned,
Right.
and when they all went left, that's when it clicked for him that cause he said immediately like, nah, let's go to Cleveland now, and he was like, can you make it? I said, yeah, I had some stuff planned, but right now it's bigger than that. I
Right.
canceled my whole vacation that
Wow.
I thought I was going, kick my feet up and just recharge, and then we went straight to Cleveland the very next day. Packed up everything, we hit the Cleveland. So I knew it clicked for him. He like, look, we gonna hit the ground running. He like, I need to do this. I need to get to work. I need to get familiar with the city. I need to know where I'm gonna be staying at. I need to know all these things so I can just focus on football. So by the time everybody else get there, I'm already in motion. I don't have to figure out my transition. My transition is about to happen now. I don't
Yeah.
have time to wait. So we end up in Cleveland ASAP. And that's what I'm saying. That's when doing the stuff we've been doing, going to these schools and going get acclimated with the youth in the city and making sure that they know that he's here and he's all in. So we started putting out a plan immediately. So I know it clicked right there. It was immediate. It didn't take long. Like he was on the way to Cleveland the next day.
Ready to work.
He got there before I did.
Wow.
My
Wow.
flight was out there. His flight was there, and my flight. I had some stuff. I had a whole trip. I had to cancel. So I had to stay back in times, loose ends, and repack bags. And I had beachwear
Right.
and
Right.
all kind of stuff. So I had to go repack my
Right.
suitcase, take all the beach stuff out there because it's still kind of cool in Cleveland a little bit. So I had to
Right.
go put warm up suits and all that. Then go to the airport. So I ended up catching a late flight out. So yeah, it clicked for him
When he
ASAP.
get when he gets to Cleveland, there, people have a preconceived notion. You look at everything, all of the Twitter stuff, and you look at all of the slander that came out about he didn't this and him being arrogant. He's too this and he's too that. When he gets to Cleveland, what was was there any moment that somebody actually met Shador and they were like, "Man, I thought you were totally different." Like, is there like, or does his aura just kind of just already kind of proceed him to where people already feel comfortable around him?
And if they thought that, we wouldn't have known because, like I tell man, the hate only resides online. Because
Right,
the minute we stepped foot in Cleveland, bro, we went to he had to go to the Nike store because he had to go get some Nike stuff to make sure he got stuff to train in. We went to a little strip mall in Cleveland, and we come out, we in there shopping, doing this, that, other, and like literally, we getting ready to walk out the door, and I always go out first so I can see
check
what's
the
out
perimeter.
there before he
Yep,
come.
yep.
So when I go out there first, I'm like, oh, hold on. So I'm going like, what's going like? I see a bunch of people, and
Yeah.
then the guy come running over from the the LA Fitness building. It's a small town here. We heard Shador's in town. Where is he at? And I'm like, I'm like, bro, y'all got us. He come on out, pictures. So it was love. I'm telling you, our literally first interaction with the public was right there in front of the Nike store, and it was all love. And from
Right,
there, it continued to be love on top of love. And then I say the one person who did probably say that, we met the president of iHeart Radio,
oh wow.
and he came over while we were eating lunch. He said, I heard like no matter where we went, like calls were flying around, like people just start popping up to the restaurants, the wherever building was at. We hear Shador's here, and he wanted to come in and meet Shador. When he met him, he was like, man, anything y'all need, y'all want to borrow this building to record anything? Is there anything y'all want for us to put out there to the public? He got your bag. He like, man, I didn't, this kid is not who they tried to paint him out to be. Like I would have never imagined him being this way. And, he's so down to earth, and we were like he was just all high praise. Like this
Right.
the president of the company. So like from there, like even if people had ill will in person, it's never that. It's always, can I get a picture? Can you sign this
Mm.
for me?
Hmm.
A lot of time this might be coming from people who had negative stuff to say about him online, but when they see him
Right.
in person, automatic switch up.
Wow. That's insane. But so Shador is going through OTAs and rookie mini camp. He he's performing at a very high level, but it's almost like there are members of the media who didn't want to act. It seems like they didn't want to give him credit for performing as well as he did. Was that discouraging at all to the team, or did you guys just take it in stride because you know what and who he is?
Um, it was discouraging to him, but for
Right.
me, being older and being in a position I'm in, I ain't gonna say it don't bother me because
Right.
I see when traps are being set, and I see when things when pre meditated things are happening. You know what I'm saying? The people trying to put out these different narratives. I see it
Mhm.
happening, and for him, he's not even paying attention to it because this time he's off of social media. He don't want to see it, don't want to hear it. Um,
All right, Boog, you was getting ready to tell us a story, then we had a minor technical difficulty. Tell us the story, dog.
man, listen, like I said, sometimes, like I say, people have their way of doing things, and they got to protect the organization. But also, when you have a player, you got to have a team around you, and have counsel around you that can see things that you can't see, also, and be able, like I say, that vision, having a vision to be able to see ahead that
Right.
what people can't see. So what people don't know is this. Um, when all that happened, I had a feeling. I said, look, you got all these quarterbacks in the room, and ain't enough reps out there for everybody. You
Right.
going in as a fifth round guy. I said, and you know what the narrative is? He's spoiled. He never played for nobody other than his daddy. You know, he want everything handed to him. So I know the system that he's going against is gonna try everything in their power to break this kid. They're gonna
Right.
try to break Shador every way they can. But you know, when you in the CDN, you're going to get tried. That's just what it is.
Right.
So for me, it's my job to say, okay, you can try as all you want, but we're gonna be prepared for whatever comes our way.
Right.
So I have a relationship with a kid who happened to be undrafted to the Browns, and I seen he got signed by the Browns. Kid named Gage Loverdan, number 84.
Okay.
What I told Shador was, man, you coming in the fifth round. So a lot of times in these situations, they might not put you with the first round guys. I mean, or the top tier guys. You're gonna be with some undrafted guys. You're gonna be with some guys that was in the fifth round just like you, whatever. So I said, so no matter what, you got to get ahead of schedule. So my job was so I reached out to Gage to get them together before camp so they can have a relationship with each other. I said, y'all gonna have to look out for each other
Right.
because you need him and he needs you. And for
Yep.
Gage going undrafted, he landed in the best spot too because no matter where you go as an undrafted guy, you're likely going to be with whoever the least tiered quarterback is when you're undrafted. So he
Right.
could have been somewhere else with another fifth round quarterback. It wasn't going to be Shador. I promise you that.
Right.
And sometimes those receivers, when they end up with guys like that, they have talent, but if they don't have a quarterback who can get them the ball, they never get to show what they can really do. So
Right.
then they fizzle out. So
Right.
but by the grace of God, he ended up with a fifth round quarterback in Shador Sanders, who's really a number one overall talent.
Right.
So
Right.
I reached out to Gage. I was like, man, you know which day you get to Cleveland. This on May 5th. I can't make this up. This on May 5th. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, I can see it. Yep. Yep.
May 5th. And he like, man, they flies out on the 8th or whatever. I want to come in early and get some throwing sessions before camp or whatever. I like his last, real, throwing days, whatever. So I'm going through all that. Now, like, I'm gonna leave on the 8th or 9th, when camp start. But I said, so I told Shador, look, I'm gonna put you with this young fella. He's talented. He might have been undrafted, but he can play, bro. You can count on him. He a tough Louisiana kid. He, you know what I'm saying? He come from that mud, so he ain't looking for no handouts. He gonna grind, whatever, however you want to grind, he gonna grind with you, and y'all can help each other. So
Right.
I'm just getting ahead of the game. So if you ever look on like a lot of his touchdown passes throughout camp,
Mhm.
most of them was the number 84.
Oh
Like
wow.
go look at all the bombs, the deep balls, and then the dropping in the bucket. That's number 84. That's Gage Loverdan. So like
Wow.
all the little pass, like most like on day one, he connected with Gage for like 3 touchdowns on the
Yeah.
first day of camp.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and look, here we go. I got proof.
Right.
I keep the receipts.
Y'all can lock in early and help each other. You going undrafted, him going fifth round, he'll be down the depth chart. Yeah. Having to earn his way up too. So y'all will probably be getting a lot of reps together. Y'all could build and help each other shine. He count on you and you count on him. No doubt, gonna be a lot of proving people wrong. Man. But that's a power play. Like, can you imagine being a guy that goes undrafted, that you know you're talented, being with a wide receiver at that, and the quarterback that ends up being the guy is a first round talent or one overall talent. Hey, that's crazy.
Mhm.
And they went off. They went off.
Oh, went off. They was the best connection of the camp.
Man, they went off, dog. Man, let
Look,
me ask you this.
hold you know,
Hold on, let me see. God don't make mistakes. He said that first of all, he said that's why I hit you up. Then he said, God don't make mistakes. This came together like this for a reason. Y'all can hold it down for each other and you can add value being a return man too. Facts. I wouldn't change nothing about it. If you still out here, we gotta live. Bro, how does that make you feel being in your position? That just has to be confirmation that you're in the right place.
that's when you know you're walking in your purpose, dog.
Yep.
There's always confirmation when you know, man, I'm doing the right thing. And God put me where I needed to be to stand in these gaps. When they try to destroy young fellas like that,
Right.
I'm gonna be here to see it before it happens and get ahead of the game. And at the end of the day, because I believe in Shador, I know what he gonna do. I know he's the best quarterback out there.
Right.
So, but all these little traps that they try to set, we just can't let him step into these traps. You know what I'm saying? Along the way. And then after that, when he get on the field, the rest gonna do what he do. He ain't never not proved himself.
So when you look at some of the members of the Cleveland media, there were different narratives being put out, and you could tell there was some people that just it didn't matter. Shador could have came out and went 95 for 95 with 79 touchdowns and and every play is a touchdown. They still would have been like, oh yeah, he may not be the guy for the job. Like, so one of the narratives that came out is that Shador wasn't spending enough time in the classroom when it came, or he doesn't spend enough time in his playbook. Can you correct that narrative, or do you have anything to say to that narrative that Shador's not spending time in his playbook?
Man, Shador always in that playbook, man. He's been in the playbook since day one, going over it, trying to get his calls down, trying to get all the understanding what it is that they're trying to do, what they're not trying to do. Like, man, he in that playbook faithfully.
Right,
Like I say, but he had four different OCs in 4 years. Now on his fifth. So for that, all it is just him just learning something new. So for that, he'll be fine. He's just trying to do what everybody else is doing. Figure out what works and what don't work, and then from there he'll be able to kind of shoulder whatever it is the load that he needs to shoulder. But man, he's fine. He's in the playbook. Like he's never not in the playbook, man. Like you don't go out there and throw over 4,000 yards and all of a sudden and don't and not study the plays and not know how to read a defense. Like
right,
he's getting it.
right. I think, and some people feel like he got it. Like, to be honest, like when you look at the way he performed in camp, and you looked at the way, and this is refreshing to hear that from you, because you know that he's just touching the tip of the iceberg at this point. Like, he 1,000%, he goes out there. The men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
Oh,
And you look at the numbers of what has happened already, what he's done as a professional. He's been the best statistically good quarterback that they've had. They're the most statistically successful so far in this camp. Now,
mhm.
we're not saying that he's winning the Super Bowl, in July, but what we're saying
Right.
is that he's literally done everything that's been asked of him and performed over and beyond. What I want to ask you is, how did he come out and perform so well? Like, was it the fact that he's had multiple coordinators and he was able to get into the playbook fast? Like, what do you attribute his early success to? Like, because he could have came out with it, with his ass on his shoulders, excuse the term, but
Mhm.
or pouting. Like, some people would have thought that, from reading the narrative of him being this spoiled kid that doesn't want to work. But you literally dispel that narrative because you say, man, Shador was ready to work as soon as he got drafted. What, what, what? How did he come out here, drop all of that, and go ball the way he did?
Man, at the end of the day, Shador it has a gift, bro, and that's what I think people are misunderstanding about him most. That he has a gift, and when God gives you a gift, it's a difference between gifted and being talented. You know what I'm saying? The gift is what's given. The talent is what we work for and we sharpen and we do all that. He got both of them. He's gifted
Mm,
and talented. He's GT. He's gifted and talented.
yeah,
So for him, um, the work he puts in with Darryl over that select QB and the stuff that he already has in him, like the combination of it just it makes for a different recipe of success. And I think people overlook the fact that that's why like when he gets to camp and you see a lot of his highlights, most of his highlights are him having great ball placement and putting throws in places that quarterbacks who've been in the league can't even make
right,
because he know how the trajectory of the ball. He know when to line drive it home. He know when to just put it right where it needs to be and drop it in the bucket. He know, and some people say, well, he don't have no arm strength. He underthrowing balls. He's not underthrowing balls. Sometimes he understands different that, and rather me overthrow my receiver. If I know he in a full out sprint, my DBs, yeah, my DB still has to run with him and look back. I know that my receiver has a better chance of adjusting to the ball being here than a cornerback versus
right,
me overthrowing him. I'd rather just go and complete the 40-yard pass. You know what I'm saying? And even if he gets tackled right or he hits the ground, then now we're in the red zone. Let's go and get it on the end zone. Like
right,
everything he understands, everything don't have to always be a home run. You
right,
know, so when people think it, they're not looking at it and understanding from his view and what he's seeing, how he understands things. Like I
right,
heard people, well, he underthrew a ball, he underthrows balls, is that another. Go back. I'm gonna give you this one, Duke,
Yep.
and people. And if you can ever insert this clip, insert it.
Okay.
First game in Colorado versus
Mm-hmm.
TCU on the road. His first Power Four game. Or what? He goes deep. It's like a 50-yard throw. He throw that thing down the field on the money. Travis Hunter, it was they first time to connect deep. The ball, Travis Hunter run right up under. I mean, perfectly thrown ball. And when he comes down to the ground, he fall and the ground pops the ball out. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like it would have been a touchdown if he grabbed it, but when the ball pops out, it's kind of like you wish you could have that one back.
Right.
So him as the quarterback understanding that, like, okay, the ball knocked out. So the next time, even though I know he's capable of making that catch, but why even take the risk when I could just still complete the 40-yard ball? It might look like it's behind, but it's where my receiver could get to it, so we can go and get down the field and go and punch this thing in. And
Right.
then you'll see like a lot of those throws after that, like he threw one Xavier Weaver right in the money down the sideline. But some of the other throws was kind of like it looked like they underthrown, but they really thrown to where his receiver could adjust to it without wasting the possession. Because that's one of the throws that he wish he could have back, and one of those catches that Travis wish he could have back. Even 2 years later, Travis like he's so great, he wish he could have that play all over again. He know because
Wow.
9 times out of 10 he makes that play.
Yeah.
But
I
people don't
mean,
look at it like that. They don't
uh-uh.
see it like that.
No, they don't. And when you think, and from somebody, and I was at Pro Day and I watched Shador, and for somebody who's seen it from both sides, being somebody who's had access on the inside of Colorado and somebody who's seen it as a national journalist on the outside, I ain't, I there has never been one time that I was like, oh, he got a weak arm. Like, oh, that's a noodle arm. Like
Right.
it ain't like you don't like. And then this is the other thing too. They always talk about, these rocket cannon arms, but how many times in the NFL are you throwing the ball 80 yards? You're not.
Never.
You're not, bro. Like you're not. And that's
Never.
one of the things they always talked about Tom Coughlin when he preferred to talk about the 40 and 10-yard intervals. I want to know what your first 10 is because how many times
Mm-hmm.
are you running 40
You're
yards
going
down the
40
field?
yards.
Right. So
Right.
you mean to tell me Shador Sanders can throw for 4,000 all these yards in college? I mean, thousands and thousands of yards and he can't throw the ball, but that's another narrative that'll be dispelled and has already been dispelled in his performance this year in camp. So what are you looking for as when they get back to work? What are you expecting from Shador as what do you call it? Not fall camp is what I guess you
Yeah.
would call it
Yeah. Training camp.
training camp. Training camp.
Yeah. Like the training camp.
What are you expecting from Shador during training camp?
Continue to be consistent. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what the Browns gonna do. I don't get into that business. That's not my thing. I don't go toe to toe and try to go, outsmart the organization. They have a process that they have to do. But for him, he's gonna continue to show up and be consistent and do what he do. And right now he's out. He's training every day. He hasn't stopped training. He's in the playbook every day. So a lot of these things, I'm just looking forward to him continuing doing what he does to walk down his process because he started from behind.
Mm-hmm.
Being the fifth round pick. So now, he's walking that thing down step by step. He's taking the stairs, not the elevator. So,
Right.
and he's gracefully doing it. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to that.
Do you feel like after his performance so far that his confidence has risen, or is just same old Shador?
Same old Shador. This is
Yeah.
one of them one like, and like he'll tell you, ask him to do that, he'll tell you, man, it's football, bro. Like he's always been away. When they was asking, what's going to be the biggest adjustment from Jackson State to Colorado? It's football. At
Right.
the end of the day, it's football. And I credit RG3. People give RG3 a hard time because of how his pro career played out, but people forget Heisman winner, a bad mother, you know what? At
Right.
the end of the day, but before the ACL injury and all that, but at the end of the day, he understands the quarterback position.
Right.
Even if it's things that he might not have mastered, he understands what it is and what he's looking for and what he should be looking at. And he said it best, dude. And that's what another thing people don't account for. The reason you're not out there driving rockets every pass and people talking about arm strength because at the end of the day, when you're a Shador Sanders, RG3 said it, he operates a step ahead of the defense at all times. So
Mm-hmm.
when you mentally operate, when you mentally a step ahead of the guys across from you, I don't have to drive everything home. I know I can put it here and place it here and place that because I already know what this ball needs to be before you even understand what I'm trying to do as a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So those things are always been who he was. Like so for now, it's not he not tripping like oh man. It's like one thing where he come back to the hotel like another day at the office. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's what I do.
Yeah. I mean, and people not thinking about this, like, there was, Coach Prime's health became a national headline while he was going through, after, from rebound, Shador is rebound, not even rebounding. I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say Shador once. What happened to him happened at the draft, and I say what happened to him because we know anybody with eyes can see that he wasn't given a fair shot in the draft. But after that happened
Mm-hmm.
to him, his father, his mentor, guide, everything to him, there has had some issues with his health, but he has to stay locked in.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like helping Shador navigate that time from being able to stay locked in, people asking him questions like he's already got to do a job and the whole world, their family's in a fishbowl, and you got people asking him about his dad at his press conference. Like, how did you help Shador navigate that time? Because that had to be a rough time for him.
Man, Shador love his daddy, man.
Yeah,
Love him to life. But the good thing about that is that he has a father who also understands what's at stake right now too.
right,
So, and Coach Prime is a strong individual, bro. Like, for Coach Prime, we back high stepping. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
it's like he's a hero to us. Like, I look at him like, man, yeah, whatever he's going through, man, he'll be back high stepping soon.
Yeah,
So even though it's hard for him to like really just like, man, that's Pops not be there with him. He understands why he's not there with him. Pops understands why Shador is not there with him. And it's also a thing where, again, that's where I come in and say, look, I'm with you, dog. When you need me here, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm
right.
on the plane, I'm on the way. And whatever it is that we need to, that where there's a lack of, I find a way to fill these gaps for them in other avenues. And, whether I'm right there in the city or I'm not in the city and I got my phone and I got to make plays or, you
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? So all these things I always have I ain't gonna say a remedy, but there's always a little something there that we can always do to help fill a gap the best way we can. And he handles it well.
man, that's
So that's
crazy.
really just me. I'm just there for him. You know what I'm saying? Just man, pick up the phone, got
Hell
you.
yeah, yeah. Like, and to be able to help lift the load, and I just want to give a shout out to Bucky, man, because Bucky's been there. From what I see, Bucky's been there with Pops the whole time, and that's so important to have a
Hmm.
family structure where everybody can like everybody can you almost operate like Voltron. Everybody has a role and there's
Hmm.
always strength in numbers. But when
Yep.
people have other things to do and you have to go out on your own conquest, you know that Pops is in good care. Pops knows that Shador is in good care. He with you. He knows Travis is in good hands. He's with you. He knows, he knows Shiloh's doing his thing. So I think that family dynamic is something that I just wanted to highlight because I think it's amazing and it's needed in our culture for us to be able to have guys like you who can fill that gap, who can step in it, who can step in that void when Pops may not be able to be with Shador or
Hmm.
somebody may not be able to be there. They've got you and you've got them. So man, I just wanted to give a shout out to that relationship and their whole family dynamic as a whole, including his daughters. Like their whole family dynamic is, like we call it goals, right? Goals.
Yeah, yeah,
So man, shout, shout,
yeah.
shout, shout out to the family. But man, let's jump into something else, man. We're gonna get into a little basketball, your first love. So Young Money Sports just did something. Has it ever? I'm not sure if it's ever been done before. Same draft year, top 5 pick in the NBA, top 5 pick in the NFL. Travis
Hmm.
Hunter, obviously, NBA, Ace Bailey. What was that like knowing that something like this was going to happen? Like everybody thinks that oh man, Young Money they done for the year. They already did what they gonna do. Nobody saw Young Money having a top 5 pick coming. What was that like?
uh, First of all, man, I'll tell you, I'm gonna toot my own horn, man. I always say, man, it's a lot of cold people in this industry, but I'm a bad one myself, Dukes. I ain't lying. Like, I, I'm like
Hey,
that for real, bro. You know what
yeah,
I'm
really
saying?
like that.
So, cause I would say that people always, would ask me, why you feel that way. And I said, even before this year, I said, man, because I'm one of the few who could say, man, I had a top three NFL pick with Quentin Williams back in 2019, and then the
Mhm.
next year in 2020, a top five NBA pick the very next year. So even at that time, I was like, how many people could say they done both? You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Like you've been in both green rooms, both. And
right.
then this year, fast forward to this year, I was in both green rooms in the same year.
Same year,
Like in a matter
year,
of months.
same damn near same season. Yeah, yeah, that's crazy,
from,
bro.
from
Hey,
April 27th to June 24th, 26th, whenever it was,
yeah,
one green room to the next. I've been in both of them.
that's hard.
So,
That's hard. But you black
uh,
history, buddy. You know that? That boy Black
put
History,
me in put me in the books, dog. Put
man,
me in the books.
never been done. That is crazy. Same year. I don't think it's ever been done. Not the
No,
same year.
I
We
don't
hey,
know.
we gotta go on Chat GPT find out, man. Chat GPT, you gotta tell us what's going on, man. You feel me? But okay, cool. But once again, the success of Ace Bailey has been marred by the media.
Mm,
I want to talk about this because this is something near and dear to my heart. As somebody who mentors people and mentors young athletes, and I've had some of these experiences where people think that because you have a relationship with somebody and they go all the way and you know they decide to keep their business with the people who helped them get there, then
mm-hmm,
that guy may not look like the traditional quote unquote agent, or this
mm-hmm,
or his circle may look more like the culture than they would that makes them comfortable.
right.
Then he's got to be in his pocket or he's got to be hurting the kid. And what I'm referencing is this whole narrative about Omar Cooper
Mm-hmm.
basically taking advantage of Ace Bailey, and he's not the guy who needs to be around him, and he's gonna rob him blind, and he handled the draft process horribly. I'm like, the boy went top 5. What do you mean,
Right.
man? Look, I need I need some horrible in my dealings. If that's
Please.
horrible,
If
yeah.
that's
Well, give me
horrible, please.
yeah. So talk about the misconceptions about the relationship with Omar Cooper and Ace Bailey and Young Money.
Man, Coop is my dog. And I hate the backlash that the internet has given him because it's unfairly given. You talking about another leader of men, a guy who's taking care of so many kids and so many families, dude. Like you know when you in this thing and you doing guys work, you helping these kids, bro. That's not easy. And I think the criticism he's got is unfair, and especially from people who look like us,
Yeah,
black folks.
right,
You know what I'm saying? Like I can't control what the other side and all that. I can't control what nobody said, dude. But for the most part, I feel like us, we got it wrong in this situation. Like we should be better. You know what I'm
right,
saying? And the reason I'm saying it is because Coop is doing something that we all inspired to do that we should do. What's all with the black empowerment, all the stuff about, man, we should own stuff. We need to stop letting them take advantage of us stuff because we come from a place where our people have been so great for so long and so many centuries that most of our people have created a lot of the stuff that we use day to day, from the lights to the street lights to the everything. And what happens when they create it? Somebody else of another color comes in and takes advantage of it, put a patent on it, do this, then put their name on it, and they get the credit for it.
right,
And we don't get the credit for it. You know what I'm saying? We go to the grave, you know what I'm saying, shorting on what we put our hard work into. So a lot of times we talk about that's why black folks should own more things, should do more. Omar Cooper just showed us, bro. He went
right.
against a system that wasn't designed for no black man to win, and he won. And the
Yeah,
reason why I say he won is because of this. When you're helping these kids, bro, and people, I feel like you should be in this lane to be qualified to speak on it. You spend hundreds of thousands of dollars helping these kids and these families. You know what I'm saying? Countless hours, man. People lose marriages behind it, man. You know, you got to pick these kids up, drop them off, and sometimes you can't drop them off because they ain't got a home to go to, so they got to stay with you. You got to feed them, you got to clothe them, you got to make sure they got shoes for school. Or this parent can't do it, so now you got to pay their school, their team fees, and every other fee that come with it. And sometimes mama calling the lights off, you got to cut the lights on. I done had it with family call. I'm about to get evicted. I ain't paid my rent in 7 months, so I got to find a way to come up with 7 months of rent in 24 hours. So I got to go borrow from somebody else to make sure she could stay in the house so her kid that I'm coaching has a place to live. Like it's so much that go into this stuff that people not factor in that they're being unfair towards Cooper about that I know he had to deal with. And I've seen even people like a Kendrick Perkins talk about vultures, this, that, another. Man, you can't be a vulture when you're the one that's footing the bill, because at the end of the day, Ace is one kid who he had for years and made it, right? But let's think
mm-hmm,
about it. Omar Cooper has a program called AOT.
mm-hmm.
Ace wasn't the only kid he was helping. So that
Right,
means he had to have at least 9 to 11 teammates every year because teams usually carry 10 to 12 players. So
mm-hmm.
if you say, just say he had Ace for 5 years, that's
Right,
50 other kids that
right,
he's helped. We just talking about the one that we see on the news everywhere, but he's helped 50 other kids in the same capacity, giving them a place to play. You know what I'm saying? A way to get to college for free. And some of those that's not becoming professional in the NBA, they become a professional in life because they were able to go to college and get a degree. Like he's helped pave the way for a lot of kids, including Ace.
mm-hmm.
So I don't know what Ace's financial background is, but I'm pretty sure that he ain't have $41 million guaranteed. So for us to say Omar steered him wrong when he literally walked this kid step by step. Because even after he got drafted, when they went viral on in the gym in Utah, Coop was still in the gym with him.
Still
So
in the gym.
beyond still in the gym with him.
Right.
So beyond the money and time spent, that's time that the craft. He's helped that kid hone a craft
Right.
and been there for him. So every step of the way, he's done it all. And I'm saying it. Say this: we're in a world where we've been conditioned to say, yeah, go spend $100,000, black man. Go spend $500,000, black man. Go spend $1 million, black man, to help these kids. Because I don't know what they go against, but you and I know what our kids are up against for the most part. And not
For
every
sure.
kid, but
Right.
most of us, we come from disadvantaged backgrounds or disadvantaged economic areas, and also where we have guys we know that were very talented, but they
Mhm.
didn't make it simply because they didn't have an Omar Cooper.
Man.
Because oh man, Mama Lifestyle, man, he the most talented kid at school, but now he on the block selling dope because he got to make sure, you know what I'm saying, Mama
Yeah.
get the lights back on.
Or
So now
or
he didn't.
or he done went and got a warehouse job early, and I can't finish school because I got to go to the workforce because I got to provide for little sister. You know, I got to put food
Mm-hmm.
on. No, you're
Mm-hmm.
right. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Most talented kid in school taking on grown adult activities that he shouldn't have to do because he should be on. So Coop standing in that gap and taking that burden off of many kids in their families is underrated. It's an underrated thing, bro. So
Mm-hmm.
when people get there, some people think for whatever reason it's been unspoken language in the business where they feel like you're supposed to spend all your money, all your time, go through your divorces because you ain't never home with your wife and you out here running around the country with these kids at all these camps, all these tournaments. And then once you invested all that to help them get through all the stuff they had to get through that a lot of these other kids couldn't get through because they didn't have you there. When you get to the finish line, it's time to make money. You're supposed to pass over to a white man in the suit who speaks a certain way, who has a certain
Hmm.
presentation, and that for some reason he's supposed to be more qualified to be able to tell you how to help this kid and this family. Even though you're the one that invested everything, you're the one believe before anybody else believe. You're the one who blindly, because when you put out these hundreds of thousands of dollars, let's get this clear. There's no guarantee that that kid is gonna make it five,
Right.
6 years from now. There's
Right.
no guarantee on that. So you're taking a chance. And not only that, you get to know them families and those kids so much when you're going through that no matter who comes in at the end, they're never going to know that family like that because they never seen them as vulnerable as you've seen them. They
Right.
never got a chance to witness none of that. So now, for whatever reason, they feel like if you don't hand them over to the white man in the suit, that you're wrong. I say, Omar got it right.
Omar
If
got it
I
right.
did, and that's the difference when you're talking to a boss. See, Omar been a boss. He was rich before the sports industry.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people don't like either. So he already has a boss mentality. So when you talk to him, you got to talk to him the right way. Is because at the end of the day, if I'm spending all this money, and then if something happens to come from it, I should be the one making something off of it, rather than whoever else come in who don't even know this kid just because you got a presentation. Now you ain't spent the dollar, you ain't watched mama cry one night, you ain't got no brother out of jail, you ain't did nothing. You don't know nothing
Right.
about none of this, but you supposed to come here and I'm supposed to just hand them over. Man,
Right.
oh my got it right, bro. Everybody else
And
got
not
it wrong.
and you know what's crazy? Not even just that I'm supposed to hand them over. It's the fact that I'm qualified. It's the fact that I've done the research. I've done the homework. I've put people in place to negotiate the contracts. He's not going in
Hmm.
this blindly.
At
I've done
all. His business is in order.
the boy went top five and what turned people off was the fact that there was something. Oh well, he's charging for an interview, and I don't know if that's true or not. But this is what I do know right now, Boog. This interview finna get a lot of views, and guess what? If you want my partner, you probably you. I might still. I ain't no
Yeah.
telling how many views this gonna go, right? But at
Yeah.
the end of the day, but think about this. That's gonna be me eating off
Yeah.
something that you
Yeah.
are the attraction, right?
And I want you to
I
eat off
seen,
of it.
yeah, come on. So why wouldn't I want to eat on something that you gonna eat on? But it's okay. But that's not right. That's wrong because you're going to eat off my name, image, and likeness. I shouldn't be compensated because people want to see what Omar Cooper is going to say based on who he is, not just because he's Omar Cooper, but he's also the agent of a top pick in the NBA draft. So why should I? And I'm not saying that this is true, but let's just go. Let's just play with the narrative a little bit. Why wouldn't you be compensated for letting somebody else make money off of your image and likeness?
Hmm.
I don't get that. You know, that's what the NIL, that's what NIL is in its true essence anyway. So
Facts.
I just wanted to get in and talk about that part of it because, you know, there are times that we get this podcast game, and people can charge because you make money off the stuff. You do.
You
Now,
know,
if you have a relationship with somebody and they come on free, or they come on and you guys are just chopping it up, that's one thing. Bro, I don't
right,
know you from Sam.
right. I don't owe you anything.
And
And
my
that's the
time is
problem,
money.
Dukes. They
Boom.
want to feel like Omar owed them something, and he never needed them to get to where he's at. That's always the problem. When
Right.
you got black men in those positions who didn't need that, but they want to be, they know we gonna get it, but they just want to
Right.
be able to say they helped us get it.
Right.
And you can't say that with Omar.
You
You
can't say
can't
it with
say that
Omar.
he was 7, 8 Rolls Royces in before the sports industry. You know what I'm
Ooh, right. Okay.
saying?
Okay.
So
Okay.
for him, you can't play that game with him. Oh,
Right.
pat, give a good boy a pat on the head. We love you. Thank you. Here you go. If it wasn't for us, you wouldn't have this. Can't do that with him. And I
Man,
think that's why people got to be better when they look
I
at
I
things like that.
I just don't see how there was an issue, because it's oh well, he's trying to pick where he wants to go. And I know everybody goes back to the Eli Manning thing. And they say, oh well, he did it, and but you can go back to John Elway. There have been times,
Hmm.
this is an unprecedented, but there seems to
Hmm.
be a common issue with, and they even brought up Omar's fatherhood into this whole narrative. Oh, he did this with Sharif, and he ruined. And I'm like, bro, like, first of all, Sharif Cooper ain't hurting. Sharif Cooper
Facts.
is fine in life. Sharif Cooper
Facts.
is rich. Like, we're
Facts.
we're not talking just about, but people have such short-sighted vision, because
Hmm.
they see what's out there in the front. But it's like, bro, you got a successful basketball player who still who's just CBA wherever he went. He's been
Hmm.
successful wherever he's been, but off the court, still a successful person. So, and I
Correct.
think that sometimes we lose focus and we lose sight of the true goal when you deal with people who may not have your best interests at heart. Because what we want to see is people become successful. What we want to see
Right.
is people be able to change their families' lives, and we want people to be able to sustain legacies. Nobody
Bingo.
said anything about Isaac Okoro being able to get the type of shoe deal that he has, where he has equity, right?
Yes.
Nobody
And
talks about that.
royalties.
Come on,
Equity
say it
and
again.
royalties.
And
Equity
royalty.
and royalty. And a 7-figure payment up front.
Seven Isaac Okoro, and who guided Isaac Okoro through that?
Omar Cooper had him since he was a kid. When he first got Isaac Okoro, Isaac was dribbling the ball with 2 hands,
Wow.
and Coop believed in it
Right.
because
Right.
he seen the other things that he did, how hard he played, how physically gifted he was compared to the other kids. He knew that if I could just teach him how to dribble with the left hand and how to dribble with
Right.
the right hand, this kid might have a chance. Wasn't nobody
Boom.
else with a suit and tie in that gym believing in that kid when he was dribbling with 2 hands.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Like he's not, and I think, and that's what people are like. People don't do their research, because nobody probably is putting. See, the first they want to run and say, "Oh, well, this is what he did to Sharif. Oh, this is what he did to his daughter. This is what he did." They're not looking at the people that he's put in position. You got one right in front of your face. We're not. They forget about Isaac Okoro, who's a lottery pick, one and done in Auburn
Hmm.
Fitness, and now somebody who has equity and royalties and a 7-figure payment with a shoe deal, that he doesn't have to dig into his NBA earnings, because he can
Right.
live off that.
Right.
Come on,
Yep.
dog. So now I just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure that we were able to shine a light there, man. So what's next for Boog, man? What you got going right now? What's next?
Man, NBA Summer League got a family reunion this week. After that, headed to Vegas. NBA Summer League up next. We're going to watch these young fellas, Jemiah Meshack, Terrence, and Ace, and all them young fellas get busy in Vegas, man. Anton Watson, all them guys. So that's my next stop. And then after that is get ready for NFL camp, like the
Man.
week after that.
So
And
how you
then
gonna
season.
split your time? Like, you got to be so many places. You got Ace, Shador, Travis, Big
Well,
Seaton. I seen Big Seaton with you
yeah,
not too long ago.
yeah, I'm in Houston with C now. Like that's where I'm at right now. Me and C, out here putting that work in with Big Trent Williams. Shout out to Trent.
Man,
Putting
shout out
on
to
the camp
Trent.
to Silverback Island, baby. They getting work. I was seeing some drills I ain't never seen before out here this week. Boy, Trent got some work, boy.
Man,
If
hey,
you're
look,
an offensive lineman, you got to go see Trent, man.
man, Book, talk to me about Jordan Seaton. He's transformed his body. What's
Oh my
going
God,
into his process for him to look like he looks now, and the athleticism that he's been displaying this spring and summer?
him mentally growing up. Like, he's still a young man, man. He ain't even 21 years old yet, man. Jordan really 19, just turned 20.
Right.
So, but mentally, his mental growth was him seeing, like, you know what? I could be that him being around the Shadors and the Travis, like knowing that I'm one of them too.
Mm-hmm.
Like he realized now it's one thing to like, okay, that, but down to feel it and understand, like, oh, I'm that.
Mm-hmm.
It's click for him. So from that, his focus and his intention that he's going about it, and Coach Sway and Mo, the way that they've been grinding him out, bro. Like everybody body has changed up there in Boulder, bro. But man, this man, he looked like RoboCop for real, bro. Like Sway them done a hell of a job, bro. Like my God, man,
Man.
the kid, like I watched him at the O line camp today, man. He had the best body in the gym.
Right. Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. And to think about it, man. And everybody didn't get a chance to see this, but you and I did get to see this. The look on those scouts' faces at the showcase of Colorado for Pro Day when they saw Jordan Seaton walk in, man, you would have thought, hey, man, those scouts, they were looking at Jordan Seaton. I mean, they were damn near salivating. It was crazy. I'm like, dog, we're and then for those that don't know, we're looking at a potential #1 overall guy, another one that's in
Yes, sir.
Colorado, man. That is insane. Boog, man, I appreciate it. Man, we've been trying to
Uh,
link this in for a minute. It's too much love, you feel me? And shoot, man,
uh,
where can everybody find you on social media, Boog?
IG at YM, like Young Money, YM underscore Boog, BOOG 32. On Twitter, I guess X you could say, HBOOG 32. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
I'm on them too.
yes,
I'm on
sir.
Instagram more than on Twitter. At X Twitter world a little too weird for me, man. I don't, it's
Hey, man,
too
it be
much weird
tripping,
energy
man.
on that. Too much weird energy on that, man. You know what
Nah, I
I
feel you,
mean?
man. Nah, hey, man, I appreciate it, man. We'll talk soon, bit up.
Love.
Love, fool.